Witchcraft is an ancient practice, the belief that a person can manipulate nature and destiny by casting a magic spell. But there may be a terrible price to pay.
Spells can go one way or the other, you know, depending on the timing of the working, the reason for the working, the result that they want.
Circle, circle, circling bright. We cast this circle in love and light.
Some witches practice a nature-based religion called Wicca.
Vision and sight.
They worship ancient pagan deities and perform rituals that celebrate the seasons and the phases of the moon. This is rare footage of an actual ceremony. But there are other witches who practice darker arts.
There's white witchcraft and there's black witchcraft. Usually the black witchcraft is for power or greed.
Catherine Brooks used to practice black magic.
Black witchcraft is so much more inviting because you get quick gratification. Usually you find that the witches that get into the most trouble are usually the black witches. The year after I did this one money spell, the year to the date, my car got broken into and I had all my stuff stolen from me. It's never happened to me.
Tradition has it that once the dark forces have been unleashed, even experts at black witchcraft can't escape the consequences.
There was a girl that they called Cat because she was one of the darkest witches and most powerful. She could do spells and have them come true within an hour.
According to Catherine Brooks, Cat had her eye on an apartment in the French Quarter of New Orleans. But someone already lived there, an elderly man whose wife had died the year before.
She started doing spells to get the tenant out of there. I think it only took her 2 weeks to do the magic. She got this man put into a home by doing a certain kind of magic that can make someone go crazy. She moved into the apartment like 40 days later.
But Cat didn't live in her new home for long.
3 months after she moved into the apartment, they found her dead in her bed. When they did the autopsy, they said that it was foul play, that she was strangled. The thing is that there was no impressions or anything.
It is alleged that the police officers who investigated Cat's death stumbled upon an important clue.
Cat had kept a journal of all the spells that she did. A week before the accident happened, she used a Ouija board to communicate with spirits. And she had written in this journal that there was a really strong spirit inside of there that she was trying to exorcise out of it, but she couldn't.
It seems that Cat had discovered that the old man hadn't been the only resident of the apartment.
The spirit of his wife was staying in there with the husband. And so Cat evicted this man into a home and really pissed off this wife. The day before that she was killed, she had made a journal entry saying that she had felt like the spirit was so heavy on her that it felt like it was choking her.
Police ignored the journal entries, and Cat's death officially remains an unsolved murder. But to those who knew her, what happened is no mystery.
It's a laughing joke at the Witcher's Corner that she was killed by that spirit because she had done such the hardest black magic that you can do. She just inflicted so much pain on him that his mate just came back and killed her.
According to witch Raven Monani, witchcraft is so complex and powerful that even benign spells cast by accomplished witchcrafters can still go tragically wrong. And the threefold law of casting spells also makes it much more dangerous.
Anything you do, whether it be good or bad, it will come back to you 3 times. So that if you were to do something bad to someone, you would be paid back 3 times worse than what you did. The more adept you are at magic or spell work, the higher the price to pay.
I've seen some witches do love spells and have gotten raped, and I mean, it's just, you don't want to mess with it.
Stories abound of witches who regret using their craft to find love.
I lived in a building that was like 90% witches, and one of the girls was doing a love spell. She had done the spell over, 3 days for this particular guy.
Shortly after completing the ritual, the young woman's ordeal began.
6 days after the last day of doing the spell, she started getting these phone calls. And she didn't know who it was.
The calls increased and became more disturbing.
The guy would call and make comments about her, or how she looked, or that he wanted to have sex with her, and all these things. Stop calling me.
The young witch realized that her spell had worked, but not on the man she wanted.
She knew that it was a stranger, just someone, off the street.
Her every moment was fraught with fear. Did the stalker know where she lived? Was he lurking in the shadows, watching?
It got to the point where she had to call the police, and she ended up having to move out of the complex.
For the inexperienced, working with the powers of witchcraft can be disastrous, even without casting a spell. One website report offers this classic case of witchcraft in the wrong hands. The alleged tragedy began when Sarah and her friends gathered for what was supposed to be a harmless afternoon of fun.
Concentrate, everybody.
One of the teenagers had found an old witch board and they wanted to try it out. Little did they realize what malevolent forces they were unleashing. For according to serious practitioners, a witch board is not a toy.
It's a portal for huge evil.
The kids giggled and teased each other as one by one they asked the oracle a question. Finally, it was Sarah's turn.
Okay, next question.
What is in my near future? Something good. Something good.
Good.
D.
It could be dollars.
Dollars. Deals. Come on.
D-O. Oh?
You're not moving it, right, guys?
Mm-mm. No.
Okay.
E.
D-E.
A.
The communicator spelled out dead, then stopped.
I don't want to play anymore. This is weird.
The terrified teenager quit the game while her friends sought a harmless explanation. They didn't get one. Instead, the communicator spelled out accident. The next day, Sarah went out for her morning jog, possibly trying to put the witchboard experience out of her mind. She heard a sound behind her. The young girl died at the scene. Witchboards, incantations, strange rituals. It is said that witchcraft is not a game. The line between white and black magic is very thin and very easy to cross. If the passage of time has not diminished the power of this ancient practice, the question remains, do those who practice witchcraft control destiny? Some say they are only tempting fate.